Okay, good afternoon, fellow friends, students, future teachers as well, whoever. And welcome to our new show. And I am privileged to have also my Arabic teacher with me as a ghost. So today we are going to discover some difficulties like with the Arabic language and maybe some common and very funny mistakes that could be interesting for them. And I'm going to say like what is difficult to pronounce in Turkish and some interesting mistakes. And we will discuss what was difficult for him when he studied Turkish. So, first of all, could you introduce yourself because my fellow
Yes, they know you, but they
public
don't
doesn't know you. Yeah. So.
Yes, I am Amr. I'm from Egypt, and I'm 24 years old. I'm actually an engineer, mechanical engineer, and I teach Arabic as a part-time job. And I like languages. Language is my hobby, to learn languages. And I speak Arabic and English, Hebrew, Persian, and a little bit of Turkish, just not much of it. And I studied some Russian before, and then I gave up, and I can't study German. It's difficult.
Could you try to say something in Turkish for my fellow Turkish students? So.
Benim adım Amr. Ben Mısırlıyım. Ben mekanik mühendisim. Ben diller seviyorum. Ben Arapça, İngilizce, İbranice, how to say to speak? I forgot.
Konuşuyorum.
Konuşuyorum. Yes. I know words. I able to read, yes, but to make a sentence that takes time for me. Yes.
Well done. I'm pretty sure my Turkish friends would be happy to listen to. Anyway, tell me why did you decide actually to learn like Turkish, and what was actually for you kind of issues, a kind of difficulty that you had with Turkish?
Yes, with Turkish, I decided to learn because it's a Middle Eastern languages, and I'm interested in Middle Eastern languages like Hebrew and Persian, and because of TV shows, Turkish TV shows now in every home, and the language itself, the sound of it is a harmony. How it looks, it's pretty to learn and pretty to speak. The difficulties in learning is like keeping the vowel harmony. Like I use in the languages I speak, you feel like you see the language, you see vowel up and vowel down, and you speak normally. But in Turkish, you have like a balance. You have to keep this balance to keep on a line, which is the vowel start with this stuff. And that was like confusing because many times when like I try to say a word in Turkish, so when I say it like with misspelling, so it means something else. It can mean a bad word even if you don't follow the proper balance of harmony and of vowels especially. And also long words, since in Turkish you can have like a stem, a small word, like مثلا a word for to write, and you connect suffixes, giving it a very big meaning in one word. Also something again, in any language, like if I want to say I am Egyptian, I am Egyptian, 3 words. In Turkish, you can say Mısırlıyım, 1 word. You don't have to say ben. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
It's something happening with the mic. So when you hear people speak, the natives speak, so they speak fast, so they say a lot of information in very short time. And you have to process all that. Like, I mean, like if he speaks English, he would say a sentence. In Turkish, he said a word. And he said a word, many words, so many sentences in a time of English sentence. So it takes a time to recognize what does it say, what does it mean. That is what I mean.
Yeah. But I think also another difficulty in Turkey was before all of these are like those nouns
Yeah, of course, of
and
course. I never can
like
say
how to
this
pronounce them.
two.
Yeah.
Yes, the first two, yeah, it's always like a struggle to say it well. Like if you have the word like ulum, that's so this one with u and this u with dots. So it's hard to master to say it. And if you say it with a normal u and u, it can give any other meaning. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
exactly. So I think for German speakers, it would be very easy
It
because
would be, yeah,
yeah,
they
because
have
they have
it.
this and yeah.
Exactly.
But I think in Arabic, like when you say looks or something with maybe even green, I don't know. For some word
Yes.
you have this with dots, so it's slightly easier for you. But
It's
for me,
similar, yeah. It's similar a little,
for
yeah.
me, who is not a German speaker or whatever, it costed me some time of practice, like
Exactly.
yeah, and that's how actually I learned it thanks to German actually,
Exactly, yeah.
and this like strong
Yeah.
I always tell everybody that it's like stretching the mouth, like this exercise for mouth,
Exactly.
like
Hızlı, yes. Hızlı. I know, yes. And that is where I found the first, on the word Egypt, Mısır.
yeah,
Yes, it's
like that.
yeah, it's like smashed.
So
Yes.
like that, Mısır. Yes.
Mısır, yes. And also there is a funny thing about the word Mısır in Turkish that it means corn. Mısır
Yeah.
means corn. And that is very confusing since you can say, I am eating Egypt, I'm eating Egyptian. So that means I'm eating corn. So it would be like horrible if you calling somebody, what do you eat now? I'm eating Egyptian. You said he's a cannibal, a vampire kind of.
Yeah. But also speaking about the very strange mistakes, very funny mistakes. Actually, there's one interesting clue here in Turkish. Like for us, like Slavic speakers, when we say we would say rad is like ish, and we need to like also to put infinitive rad plus et to get the like to work. It tends to be like in English. Rad plus et is like to work in English, but tananana for Turks it doesn't work like that. So why? Because when you say like ish and plus mek, it's like to do PP.
Exactly, yeah.
It's very funny. So please, Russian speakers, Serbian speakers, like forget about this. It's totally wrong. So for that, we need to say çalışmak. Don't ask me why.
Çalışmak.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
çalışmak.
Çalışmak. Yes. And also it's common that the verb is with nouns, like to see that's çalışmak.
Yeah,
That's çalışmak, to do and listen. Yes.
Yeah, like to literally translated like to work on the lesson. Let's say like that.
Lesson, exactly. Yes.
Instead of saying to study, yeah, it's very interesting. Oh well.
Yes.
Okay, and what is like the common what is a common mistake and what is difficulty for us like Arabic learners? Can you share something with us?
For Arabic learners, with my student, I always see the struggle with pronouncing Arabic words correctly. Since to say the ha, ain, and dal, and ta, the unique sounds, which like people have difficulties. So like sometimes when I have a student like from Spain or from Latin America speaks Spanish, I always like tell him the ha. It's like you have it in like the G, Juan's stuff. Some people, it depends. Yeah, but most of them can say the ha. Ha. They're struggling with the ha. And and also the ayn. So it's just a struggle of pronouncing, but because the words are not difficult, really, the word to see the words composition are not difficult. Also, to make a sentence in Arabic, that is not difficult, since if you know some nouns, you know some verbs, how to conjugate verb, you have a sentence. You can say many sentences as you see. So some people like have difficulties in the pronunciation, but on the other side, they find easy composition of sentence, not complex grammar, because they learn spoken dialects like Egyptian, Levantine, and it's tolerant. Like, I mean, in a dialect, you can compose a sentence flexible without a very solid structure, like in Russian. When I started to learn Russian, it was like there is a pattern, you must follow this pattern. A noun, a verb, and the verb and cases, the 6 cases, they were nightmares to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the difficulties you have in Arabic as Arabic learner?
Okay. Apart of pronunciation, like all of those, like then I sound like I'm a cat, like meowing, like and when I want to say like I'm reading it's like I'm having like a hip or something is in my throat, and the 4 types of R, like when I want to take out of something, so I need to recognize how to pronounce all this. And second difficulty for me is definitely like masculine nouns, to put them in plural, because they are so damn irregular. And third is past tense. So people are right when they say that the past tense is the most difficult one, because there are so many exceptions. So
exactly. Yeah. That's correct. Yeah. But as I say, also the past tense is like a one tense. In English, we had like multiple tenses to say past perfect, past continuous perfect, and see I have, had, ever, then, would, this stuff. Yeah, that's true. Also, verbs in Turkish was like complicated a little to me, because they have big endings. Like you see, yapıyorsunuz, it's long to say. Yes. And long to write. Also, when I want to try to write in Turkish, you write a lot. You write a lot of things.
Okay. And can you share, for the end, can you share some kind of funny like mistake that students make in Arabic?
The funny mistakes always shown when somebody mispronounce a word. Like if a word with ha, and he said ha because he can say ha, it can have a horrible meaning. A horrible meaning with ha, or with ayn and alif. Like there are many, but there is no specific word in my head right now. But just replacing the sound with another sound, making a new word, and this word, it might be horrible word, it might be a vulgar word, bad word. Yeah, it can be. Yes. Also in Turkish, when you mess with a vowel.
In Turkish, that also happens sometimes, but like I didn't want to do like that. Now I created like from this grammar aspect, like when they always want to put like the noun plus mak, and then they would get the verb.
Exactly.
So this is also one of the mistakes. Not always like is possible. So it's kind of exceptions. Yeah. So it's very.
That's true.
That's very funny. And I think the easiest part in Turkish is like when you struggle, when you actually learn about vowel harmony rules very well. I think the easiest part would be like plural, to put plural, and also because they don't have like genders like in Arabic, like in Slavic languages.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's the easiest part.
Yeah. Every language has pros and cons, and like you find easy in things, difficulties in some things. Perhaps it's easy like a little in the grammar concept in Arabic. The grammar concept is not very complex. While in Turkish you can find a bit grammar complex, but ease in making plural, ease in writing this way.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Every language has a pattern, but perhaps is one of the advantages of Arabic that after that, when you want to learn other languages, you will find things in common. If you want to study Persian, if you want to study Urdu, Hebrew, Turkish, if you didn't study Turkish before, at least you will be able to say marhaba.
Yeah, exactly.
At least when you say hello, you know hello. It's the same.
Or you can they could say salam alaikum and assalam alaikum. Yeah, so it's kind of a ritual.
And tashakkurlar is shukran. Tashakkurlar, shukran.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you so much, Susanna. It was very nice conversation. And great. I hope you success in Arabic and Turkish and all languages. You're a very hard worker. And I'm happy to be with you.
شكرا كتير مدرس.
شكرا سوزان. شكرا.
Görüşürüz. Bye bye.
مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.